Imagine towering Viking warriors patrolling the golden palace of a Roman emperor, not pillaging or burning, but protecting. Sounds like fiction? It's not. The elite bodyguards of the Byzantine emperors weren't born in Constantinople. They came from the icy fjords of the north. But why would the most sophisticated empire of the medieval world trust wild Norsemen? What made the Vikings so essential to Byzantine security? Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating alliances in history, the story of the Varangian Guard, the Viking warriors who served the Roman throne. From the late 8th century, Vikings began their expansion not only westward into Britain and France, but also eastward, navigating the rivers of Russia and trading with the Slavic and Byzantine worlds. These Norsemen, known in the east as Varangians, followed trade routes like the Dnieper and Volga rivers, leading them straight to the opulent gates of Constantinople. To the Byzantines, the Vikings were unlike any warriors they'd ever seen. Fierce, tall, battle-hardened, and surprisingly organized. And unlike many local mercenaries, they had no stake in Byzantine politics. That neutrality was gold. The Norse also brought with them a strict warrior code, forged in the brutal realities of raiding, long voyages, and clan warfare. They were disciplined, unshakable in combat, and willing to die before breaking an oath. For an empire plagued by internal betrayal and civil wars, these qualities were priceless. But it wasn't just about strength. The Varangians respected gold and contract. Once hired, they would serve with brutal efficiency and loyalty, something rare in an empire where political intrigue often trumped martial skill. The Byzantine Empire at this time was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and threats. Internally, emperors faced constant conspiracies and rebellions. Externally, they were surrounded by enemies from the Normans in the west to Arab forces in the east. In this volatile landscape, the emperor needed a guard he could trust, not only to protect his life, but to remain loyal when others were swayed by bribes or ambition. That's where the Varangians entered the scene. The first significant wave of Viking warriors came to serve under Emperor Basil II in the late 10th century. At that time, Basil needed military support to solidify his rule against powerful noble factions. He turned to the Kievan Rus, whose leader, Prince Vladimir, sent him 1,000 Norse warriors in exchange for marriage to Basil's sister and a formal alliance. Basil was so impressed by these Norse warriors that he made them his personal bodyguards. Thus, the Varangian Guard was born, not just as mercenaries, but as an elite, hand-picked unit directly responsible for the emperor's safety. These warriors quickly developed a reputation throughout the empire. They wielded massive axes, fought with terrifying ferocity, and displayed unwavering loyalty. Their foreignness became their strength. They didn't speak Greek, didn't involve themselves in court politics, and had no local allegiances. They were brutal, but incorruptible. Over time, serving in the Varangian Guard became a prestigious position, not just for Norsemen, but also for Anglo-Saxons and other northern warriors who found their way to Constantinople after being displaced by events like the Norman conquest of England. The Byzantine emperors even paid these warriors in gold, directly from the imperial treasury in honor and a sign of immense trust. In battle, they were known for their shock tactics. They would often lead charges, break enemy lines with their sheer strength, and protect the emperor's standard at all costs. Some historical accounts describe them as fighting, even in hopeless situations, refusing to retreat or surrender. For the Byzantines, their ferocity wasn't just a legend, it was a deterrent. And yet, their role was more than martial. Varangians were often present at imperial ceremonies, standing as symbols of strength and foreign prestige. They marched in gold and crimson, towering over local soldiers, carrying the long-handled axes that became their trademark. In art and chronicles, they became iconic, representing the exotic might of the emperor. Their presence left a mark far beyond Byzantium. Runic graffiti carved by bored Varangians still survives today in places like the Hagia Sophia. So next time you picture a Viking, don't just imagine him in a longship on a cold northern shore. Picture him under the blazing sun of Constantinople, guarding an emperor, draped in silk and wielding an axe of war. The story of the Varangian Guard is more than a historical footnotates, a reminder that history is full of unexpected alliances. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories from the past.